I feel so much better.
Yeah.
I feel like I could...
3 pieces of pizza will do that to you.
Yeah. Like, I literally feel like I could do a jumping jack or something.
You realize, while you feel like that, because you've eaten 3 pieces of pizza, that because you've eaten 3 pieces of pizza, if you did a jumping jack, you would vomit.
I pass out well before I vomit.
I want to see you do one jumping jack right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
What do you give me?
Congratulations.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, he's really getting up. Here we go. Do it.
Hang on, I gotta remember how to do this.
Okay. It's like...
It's been a while.
It's like opening and closing a scissor, but with your body. So arms go up and legs go out. Like this.
Alright, I'm doing it. You ready?
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, and he split his pants, everyone.
Where's my congratulations?
Congratulations. You didn't have a coronary.
That's all I've ever wanted.
Is that what you ask your girlfriend to say to you every morning? She asks you, like when you wake
Congratulations,
up.
you didn't have a coronary.
Yeah. When you wake up every morning, she sees that you're awake and alive, and she goes, "Congratulations, you didn't have a coronary."
No, but I've asked her about this, and she never gives me a real answer. Every time I wake up, I just hear her go, "Oh, not again."
Welcome to the Media Lunch Break, everybody. Bringing you all of your comic, geek, and movie news all in the time that it takes to eat a good sandwich and enjoy a fat piece of carrot cake. Because you had a salad with that lunch, mister, and you've earned that piece of cake. My name is Chris Trebo. Alongside me, as always, is Andrew Dunn. Say hello, Andrew.
Why carrot? If you're going to get a cake, why would you choose carrot
Someone
cake?
at work had carrot cake today, and it was
Why?
pretty good. It's good. Have you ever had carrot cake?
Yes, it's not. Eat a carrot.
No, but this is cake. And
Yeah,
it has icing.
Then have real cake. Not fake healthy cake. If I want to eat something that tastes healthy, I'm going to eat something that's healthy.
Yeah, but there was really good icing on carrot cake.
Then just eat the icing.
Listen, it's the first thing that came into my head, okay?
Fine.
You try coming up with a different thing every single time.
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've probably repeated like 8 of them, and I just think they're original ideas every single time.
I mean, they sneak past me. What are we doing today?
Oh, well, boys and girls, once upon a time, whence last we met, we were spinning a yarn about a certain bounty hunter. That
is Dog the Bounty Hunter.
That is Dog the Bounty Hunter. No, we had started to tell a tale, which I feel like it's going to become like our opus magnum. Like I can feel this is gonna go on for a little while.
Yeah, this is gonna be like a 10-season show.
Buckle in, everybody. But we had been going off of an idea that we had a while ago, that there's a woman being cast. We don't know who. We don't know what the character is for the young Han Solo movie. And the idea was floated that possibly this woman could be a former love interest for Han Solo. And then we posited that maybe this could be Boba Fett. And that this woman could have been Boba Fett the whole time, and we didn't even know it.
Well, I think it started with...
Yeah, I'm not explaining it great.
Yeah, well, no, there's always been this theory, especially when before the expanded universe was forced out of the canon, that Boba Fett was actually a woman.
Right.
And so this is all, of course, before the prequels, which totally ruined all of that. So it's always an idea that I've found.
Which I just realized we'll get into in reading assignments.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. Although not about Boba Fett.
No, but just the prequels you mentioned.
So, so they kind of ruined that. It seems like a very interesting choice to me to make it a woman who Han Solo has had a negative relationship with in some way.
Right, which is, I would imagine, the only kind of relationship that Han Solo can have. So
we eventually ended up just trying to figure out a way that we could force this to be canon again.
Right.
And as a recap, you actually seem to remember it better than I did.
Yeah.
But
So the recap is this: what we covered last episode. If you're not playing them back to back, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Is that so? The exposition, or for those of you who don't know, the story that happens before we start the movie,
or as the French call a certain je ne sais quoi.
I don't think that's what they call it.
Yep.
I don't think that you're using that term correctly.
How often have you been to France?
0 times. How often have you
Right.
been to France?
Carry on.
So, what happens is that Han Solo and this young lady, which we still don't have a name for.
I don't know that she needs one.
Fair enough. I think that came off more mad than it was impressed, but it was more impressed. Han Solo and this young woman are both kind of space cowboy pirates, whatever you want to call them.
You're not doing a very good job at a
Give
recap.
me a second. The Pepsi's gonna kick in a second. And I'm gonna have a caffeine high. I'm
gonna take over in a minute.
And running. They are working together. They also then develop a relationship together. They get into some sort of a scrap, a situation.
A sitch, as the kids call it.
Sitch, as they call it in the younger generations. And Han Solo kind of betrays her and makes his escape.
With the money. Lebowski.
And so whatever ship they were on, I think we said, was like damaged. And the ship then ends up going down onto a kind of a desert planet. And Solo believes that she is dead. It wasn't his intention, but it happened.
Yeah.
And so he left her behind. So she is stuck on this planet.
He's sort of like, well, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. She's stuck on this planet. She survives the crash. And
is eventually picked up by Boba Fett.
And is eventually picked up by Boba Fett. I think we said, like, Boba Fett is on the planet for a little while. And that's,
he's looking for Han Solo.
He's looking...
Because he knows Han Solo is in that area.
Right. So Boba Fett went down to the planet looking for Han Solo, found this girl. They realize that they're
on some sort of mount.
Yeah.
Probably a dewback or a bantha.
They're on some sort of mount... have some sort of, I think it was like a non-verbal thing that we said was going to happen, where it was like some sort of realization. She realizes that Boba Fett is looking for Han Solo.
Right. Well, they both, describe enough of the people they're looking for that they look at each other, realize one of them can lead them to the other, and immediately begin a fight to the death.
Here's my question, though.
Yeah.
Why would it be a fight to the death?
Well, Boba Fett...
Why wouldn't they agree to team up together?
That's a great question, and that's a question for the actors. But
never ask the actors a question.
Well, no. Sorry, that's a question that should be from the actors.
Oh, right.
But it is
never answer the actors' question.
I would think a number of reasons. One, so for I think if they talked it out, maybe they would realize they're both looking for the same person.
Right.
But either way, it actually shouldn't matter. So like, let's think about this. So if our femme fatale is looking for Han Solo for, say, similar reasons to Boba Fett, negative reasons. She wants to bring in this guy. She has no feelings for him.
Right.
She's just trying to like even out the playing field.
Right.
Boba Fett finds it out, and he's going to be like, well, if it's a negative reason, that means you're either trying to kill my bounty, which can't happen because they want him alive.
Right.
Or you're trying to get him for money yourself, and he's mine. If it's for a positive reason, that implies that she has feelings for him and she won't let him do whatever. The reason that she preemptively starts fighting with him, I think, is because what is Boba Fett gonna do? He is going to torture this woman for information.
Right.
So, like, that's where the fight comes from.
That's something we hadn't really, like, talked about before.
Or at least she is worried about that.
Okay, because I was going to say there could be something like, okay, you're right, either... By the way, I'm going to say, also, just to give this a definitive start, because we didn't... I think last time we kind of went right from exposition into the story. We never did. I think it'd be awesome to start after the crash. She's on the planet, so like first shot of the movie, it's like desert planet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she is in a cave or something. She's found shelter of some kind, something like that.
I think just walking with her, like she has like a coat over her head for the sun, just walking through the desert.
Right. That's cool. I'm good with that. Yeah. And then
like, how about first shot is like junk in space floating around, and the camera pans down, and we see a planet, and then we cut to her walking through the sand.
How about this?
Okay.
We cut the shot you just described with her walking in the sand.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so there's no crawl. We're gonna Rogue One it.
All right.
Okay. It's like this. I'm trying to think. It's a long time ago, galaxy far, far away. Star Wars, Rogue One, and then
Isn't that part of the crawl? Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
No, Rogue One had long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. They did. It did. I swear to you, it did.
Okay, I can't prove you wrong.
There's no way to do that. So yeah, it did have that. So long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. Title card, whatever the hell this is called. Right, and then it's you can have a music like that, and then it slams to stark like red desert planet, wide shot, silence. Right, you hear wind blowing and things like that.
Maybe a foghorn.
What are you fucking?
Trying to do the sound effects.
All right, thanks, Michael Winslow.
Walking through the sand.
But it's like this wide shot, and you think it's like an establishing shot because you can see like dunes or like what if there's a giant mountain in the background, whatever, and the winds are blowing and everything like that. And slowly you just see this dot appear.
Oh, sure.
And it starts to get larger, and you realize it's a person walking.
Would it be better to do it to have her walk on from the side as a dot and just slowly make her way across the screen?
Maybe
that would probably be more obvious than just because if someone walking towards you, it just looks like a dot in the center. You might not be
but that's
able
what
to
I
tell
mean.
that it's someone moving.
I kind of want that, or it's the crest of a dune, and you see the dot just kind of like
come up.
appear.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like
come
that.
up, and then
It's very Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, it comes up, and then you don't have to hold on it to like it gets all the way to the camera, but it comes up, and you hold it for a long time, and you see it just get bigger.
Yeah.
So you can establish
that's
movement.
a good idea. Yeah.
And then we can get it, then we can just cut into her walking with the
like
a back shot of her walking with the coat over the head.
Definitely.
And we kind of like in Force Awakens, where you have a little bit of Rey and where she lives and everything like that.
Yeah.
You can get into that, and then it's almost like this. This is getting so detailed, but screw it, I don't care.
It's already stuff we've passed.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 10 episodes long. I don't care. And then it's so after we have a little bit of where she lives and everything like that, you can have kind of like almost a Spielbergian shot of Boba Fett's ship, like the lights shine into the thing, and she's like, "What the fuck is that?" And like you see the Slave One.
Do you think we see her walking for a couple of days? Because if we see the lights first, because it should probably be bright and hot, and then sort of time passes as she walks.
Yeah, I was thinking when we do kind of like an establish of how she's surviving.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a cave or whatever.
Oh, I see.
Under whatever, you know what I mean?
I got you. That's what you meant by where she lives. I was confused.
And so time will pass. Got it. And then she's finally like, it'll be the end of the day. She's finally gonna rest her head to sleep, and all of a sudden lights into the thing.
Got it.
And the next shot is like I said, kind of a Spielberg.
Close Encounters,
thing
sure.
With the Slave One ship landing.
Yeah.
And then and from there, that's where like Boba Fett gets out, and I'm looking for something.
That's not a bad idea. I think it would be a better option to not have a place where she rests, like a cave or something. I think it's a better idea to just sort of have time lapses.
Okay.
Have the camera just on her walking, maybe even left to right.
Right.
And have the sun go down, have the sun come up.
Oh.
Have the sun go down, have the sun come up, just constantly walking.
Yeah.
And then after like the third or fourth time that happens, it just like fades and she's just laying on the sand, face in the sand.
Oh, I like that.
And then like maybe we get a close up on her and we hear first from far away,
Right. Oh yeah. Okay.
And it lands.
Yes.
And he gets out and sort of pokes her.
Yeah.
To ask her, have you seen a man walk by here? And she can say, no, I've been by myself for like 3 days. I need help. Is there any chance you could take me into town or whatever? And he's like, all right, fine, come on.
I almost want to. I almost want there to be where like he pokes her, and like you think he's testing to see if she's dead, and she wakes up and he turns and he doesn't get startled by this or anything. He just turns and she looks at him puzzled, but he's just like, "I'm looking for a man." Like he just launches right into
definitely.
it. Like he's not going to ask her what her situation is or what the hell she's doing at all.
Yeah,
he's just focused on the mission. He's like, "I'm looking for a man." I blah 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 blah. He explains a little bit, and then she's like, I need help."
Yeah, that's actually great.
She's like, "Do you have any water?" He's like, "Have you seen him?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "No, it's just been me." And there's this pause, and then he just turns to walk away, and he turns and starts walking away. She's like, "Wait."
Yeah. I think eventually she can convince him that she can help him find.
Yes, exactly.
I can be a second set of eyes, or if you ever need to sleep. I can keep a lookout.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I think, and then I like the idea of, as they slowly start to work together to search for this man,
they start
at this
revealing
point,
more and more.
actually, you could, here's what I think, actually. I'm going to go back on what we said last episode. I think he can say it's Han Solo. And then she's like, no, but I hate that motherfucker. And what he does, and you'll find this out later, is that the reason he takes her isn't as an assist, but like you said, he can pump her for information about him.
See, here's the thing about
that. And she thinks he's helping her. He's going to use her and torture her, and then...
I don't like that.
Okay.
In my mind, and I'm always looking for like the most honest, realistic thing. Right. This man, if he felt that she had information, he would just shoot her in the foot, tie her to a rock, and say, "Tell me what you know about Han Solo." And if she said, "I'm not telling you anything," or "I don't know anything," he'd shoot her in the other foot.
True.
I think it has to, as soon as he knows, he goes to do that, and she has to stop him.
Okay. Because the other thing I was going to say is, as soon as he says, "I'm looking for a man," blah, 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 logically I think he would say, his name is Han Solo.
See, I don't think he would. I think he would just say, he would start with, "Have you seen a man?" And if she said no, he'd be like, "Great, bye."
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then she can eventually convince him. And then as they're traveling, she can say, "I'm looking for someone too." And he can say, "I don't care." Or whatever,
yeah. I think he doesn't talk that much.
Yeah, maybe not at all.
You know what I mean?
Maybe she is trying to find out if he's looking for the same person that she is. So she's like, "I'm looking for some..." Like, it occurs to her that she knows who Han Solo is.
Right.
She knows there's a lot of people looking for him.
He could... No, they're still on the planet during this whole thing? Or are they on his ship?
They're on Dubak.
They're on Dubak. Okay.
So what if she's like, "I'm looking for someone too"? No response. It's a smuggler. Whatever. Just slowly trying to, like, get any information out of him.
Right.
And then as soon as she sees a recognition in him, the two of them go at it.
Okay.
He probably goes for his gun, and she, like, grabs his arm. They fall off. Whatever.
What? I would say take him off the Dubaks then.
Well, that's what I mean, is they fall off the Dubak.
No, I'm saying don't even bring the... Because if you're thinking... Okay, so if it's the scene where she's lying on the desert floor...
Yeah.
And he shows up and is like, "I'm looking for a man." Like, you could... Where would the... You know what I mean? Like, where would the Dubaks even come from? Like,
well, he's got them.
Right, but why would they get on them? Like, where are they going?
He's going to town.
Oh, see, I'm thinking this is like just this is just the desert.
Well, yeah, but like, there's always towns in it. Like, Tatooine is wherever
I see what
Luke
you're
is from.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this might be Tatooine, actually.
I don't like that only because it's like really on the nose.
Yeah, no,
plus, I want this to be one of those non-Destiny stories.
Sure. So I agree. It works, though, because, like, Han Solo would probably tend to stay in the same, like, 5 to 10 planet areas.
Right. Yeah,
and if there's
true.
a desert planet, it would make sense that he would be flying to the cantina,
Yeah, I just... the reason
where he clearly hangs out looking for work.
Right. No, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I think Tatooine, though, is kind of tainted.
Yeah.
In that sort of
no,
aspect,
I agree. I mean, it's too
mean?
bad. Well, if we were to do this movie way down the road, maybe it'd be a little easier.
Okay, that's fair. Then, yeah, you're right. Okay, so it's a vast desert planet. There are some cities, but she is landed, like, in the middle of... So then Boba Fett, when he got to this area, he was going to go to the town, but he spots whatever her crash is.
And he's close enough that they
and
can
he's
just...
like, oh, I'm going to check out the crash first, because
Yeah.
that might be his ship.
Right.
Finds this woman. She could lie and say something like... A reason for him to let her follow him is like... She's like, I haven't seen him. And he gets the dewback and he's going to go. And she's like, but wait. But I know my way around this city. I could help you. You know what I mean? Like, I can help you get the ins and outs. If you just walk in and start asking questions, nobody knows you. They're going to close all their doors.
Yeah.
I can get you into who you really need to talk to.
Would that work, though, with Boba Fett, who can probably do that anyway, because he's Boba Fett?
Let's say yes. Here's the one nice thing about this Boba Fett. We don't really know who the fuck Boba Fett is. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough material that's now in canon in the movies.
No, that's true.
That you can kind of do this.
I think we're overthinking it, though. Like, I really think if she's just like, look, if you let me come with you into town,
right,
it's not going to be a hindrance to you, and in fact, I'll be a second set of eyes. Just please let me,
Fair, but that's what I mean. I think she assists. Yeah, you're right. And then they figure out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a sweet dewback chase. And then
it's 2.5 miles per hour.
Dewback crawl or brawl or whatever. And then and that's where she kills him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. So then, does she? Maybe instead of, because last episode we said the way she figures out to become Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
She's flying in his ship and she's trying to get into something in the call sign. So maybe instead...
I think we had said, and maybe not, maybe I just thought of this, but that she feels the sun, as hot as it is, knows that she's going to be under this cooking sun forever, and you can even demonstrate it by her looking up at the sun and just feeling it. So she puts on the armor to protect herself from the sun, and then slowly makes her way back to the ship, and then the only reason she continues to pretend to be this person who she's killed. I mean, partially probably because she just killed a person.
Yeah.
And if she says, I'm not this person, she's going to have to answer for why this person is dead.
Well, you know what you could do is you could kind of gild the lily a little bit. And by that I mean she goes into town. She uses the dewback to go into town because she clearly needs, like, water.
Maybe she did, Here's an idea. So to make that work, to make what you're saying work, how about he doesn't land near her? He lands at the site. Wherever the ship is, and then follows her tracks with a dewback.
Yes.
So she doesn't know where the ship is. Because it would make the most sense if she knew where the ship was, she'd just go back to the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. What I was gonna say. So yes, we'll take that where he follows the trail.
Great.
I like that. So then she, blah blah blah, dewback fight, kills him. I like the idea. I don't think she puts on the helmet, but or the whole armor. But I like the idea of her putting on something of his, like, to protect from this, whatever. But something that has, like,
the Mandalorian symbol.
Yeah, the Mandalorian symbol. She gets into town. She is...
How does she... All right, let me... How does she end up getting it, then?
End up getting what?
The rest of his suit.
I mean, okay, so his ship, Slave 1, is still back at her crash site.
Nice.
Her crash site.
Yeah, nice.
So she can leave all that stuff out
that's
in
a
the
good
fucking desert.
Yeah.
She goes into town to get water or something like that. She's not even looking for information. She's just trying to get basic supplies.
And after she rests up, she makes the decision. She can afford to, like, maybe she steals a craft of some kind to go out and find his ship eventually.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
But while she's in town, what I was going to say is you can gild this lily about the idea of taking his identity.
Yeah.
She has some of his armor on or some sort of thing with the symbol on it.
Yeah.
And without even being prompted, someone, the name again?
Mandalorian.
I almost said Mandalorian. I was like, Mandalorian is not.
Well, we had said too, there's something that happens at some point where a person comes up and sort of gives her a hard time about something. Like, you're not supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Like, you got to get out of here, maybe shoving her, and someone else interjects and it's like, whoa, look, my friend didn't mean anything. Please don't hurt us.
Right.
You know, dude, that's a Mandalorian symbol. Like, you don't mess with those people. She can do whatever she wants.
She's like, what the fuck is this? And, well, you could even have it where someone gives someone gives up information that might be related to Solo.
Sure.
Like someone knows Solo.
Yeah.
And she's like, and they're like, oh, I heard you were looking for Solo. Because all they've heard is like a Mandalorian is looking for Solo.
Yeah, it could be. Or even, hey, are you friends with Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Because I've got information for him.
Yeah. So I saw Solo, Solo, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And, and so that, which is good. Yes, because then she can take his ship and have a direction to go.
Right.
So without even asking, this person offers up this information.
Yeah.
And it's just through wearing part of his thing.
Yeah.
And then so she goes back, she takes the ship or whatever. She goes back to the crash site where Slave One is.
Maybe she sells the dewback to get like a speed. What are those called? The thing that Luke has.
The speeder.
Something like that. I don't remember what they're called.
Somebody's
land speeder. I think it's a land speeder.
I think so.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna write on some fucking Reddit that we don't know what this is, but I don't care.
It's just a box with mirrors on the bottom, so you can't see the wheels.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Flintstone car.
Yeah.
And you just can't see their feet moving.
Yeah, basically.
She goes back to Slave One. She takes off.
Sets coordinates for wherever Han Solo is.
It is. Blah, blah, blah,
He's
blah,
getting his training from Yoda on Dagobah.
Shut up. So she starts going there.
Yeah.
When she gets there...
Here's a question.
Okay, go.
Is it possible that Han Solo is taking the money he has just thwarted out of our heroine to the Hutts?
That is an interesting tie-in, and I would totally be okay with that.
And she's got to get it back. She's got to stop him before he gets there so she can get her cut of the money.
You know what you could do is you could make this whole story one of those things where Han Solo has just been wherever she gets to.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
So like the person when she's wearing the thing.
Yeah.
And
he was just here.
He was just here. He's going to the Hutts.
Right.
To blah 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 blah. She goes to the Hutts. Well, he was just here. He did X, Y, and Z. Now he's going there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everywhere she goes.
The problem with that, though, is that I like the idea of there being this surface level, almost shallow thing that she thinks is the reason she's searching for Han Solo,
right.
Like the money.
Right.
If he goes to the Hutts, and also he can't go to the Hutts with this money to pay them off,
right?
Because then he's paid them off, and
right.
then Boba Fett isn't coming after him in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just pays part of it or something. You could do that, but
no, but you could. I mean,
but I like the idea of her chasing him down and maybe eventually getting to him and being like, "Look, I came. I don't care about you. I want my money. Or whatever."
Right.
And that's the what she says, which
right.
is different than her actual motivation.
But even so, if it's she thinks it's just the surface level thing of I want my money. Even if he had used the money and gone to the Hutts, he still owes her that money.
Oh, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could still do like, he was just here, I heard he's going, because she's not going to go to the Hutts and be like, well, that was part of my money.
Yeah.
You know what
she's
I mean?
Going to go to Han Solo and be like, you owe me that.
You owe me that money. I don't care that you spent it already. You still owe me that money.
Yeah.
And Han Solo clearly has done multiple deals with the Hutts.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the one that comes up in A New Hope.
Sure, or it could be he's just paying off a big chunk of it.
Yeah, could be that too. But it could be one of those things, like I said, where it's like she gets information that he's here, which I also love because there can be a moment of like, what a fucking idiot. He left me for dead on this planet, and then he turns around and he goes to the next city over, and that's where he's hanging out, the jackass.
Yeah.
Like that can fuel her hate for him.
Sure.
For him. And then goes to the Hutts. The Hutts are like, no, he was just here, but he's actually I heard he's going off to blah blah blah, or last I heard, or someone plastic, whatever. Blah.
Yeah, sure.
And then she takes off and goes. So she's in Slave One, right? She's going to the next planet. When she gets there, it's under some sort of like Empire control or Empire observation or something. Like there's a brigade of Star Destroyers kind of swarming about. She gets it, and you can have like that light speed thing where it like, it's light speed, slams stop, and then it's just like and she's like, oh fuck. And they're asking for a call sign and everything, and she doesn't know, and then and that's where we have that moment of she either figures out what the call sign is, or somebody realizes whose ship it is, or what ship it was.
What we had said was, And we'll have to figure out something that happens right before this to get her to put on the helmet. Because what we had said was they're like, who's in there? And they like video call in and they're like, oh, Boba Fett.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, right. That's right. Yes.
So she's got to put on the helmet for some reason.
Yeah, okay. My first instinct is a really bad one, which is like somehow it accidentally gets onto her.
How about this?
But
how about, she's got most of the suit on, right, for the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe she doesn't have any of it on yet. Maybe she didn't even put any of it on.
Okay.
But what if they're like, what if the video thing pops up and she like freaks out and ducks?
Right.
And they're like, who's in there? We need to investigate to see who this is. And she's like, oh fuck, I gotta look like this guy. And she just puts the helmet on and pops up.
Yeah. That's the simplest answer. At first I thought about something like that and then was like, that's actually too simple. But no, you're right. It's not. It's not too simple. It makes total sense.
Yep. Occam's razor, man.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, Boba Fett. I'm so sorry.
And what if they're like, Lord Vader has been expecting you for some time. You're quite late.
Yeah. And yes, I like all of this. And then
she just like put the whole suit on.
Right. No, I like this. Lord Vader's been expecting you. You're quite late. Tractor beam.
Yeah.
Getting pulled into a Star Destroyer. Yeah. Because that way, again, there's this kind of idea. I think it's fun to... She's half in control of this situation.
Right.
And half very much not. At least for the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
Of like, she's just getting pulled into these situations and other forces are making her become Boba Fett.
Right.
As opposed to her making a full choice to do it. So she's like, well, shit, now I gotta put... Which is a good excuse for her to put on all the armor.
Right.
She's like, fuck, now I gotta put on all the armor.
I think there's a great moment we can have, too, where she realizes... Like, she's talking to Darth Vader, who she either knows nothing about or she definitely knows who this guy is.
Right.
But there has to be a moment of clarity when she realizes, oh my god, he's going to pay me to find Han Solo.
Yes. I like that. Yes. Because, all right. So I like that, too. I like the idea of Darth Vader coming and wanting Solo as well.
Right.
So, like, everyone... Once again, it's very Han Solo-esque. Everyone in the universe is after Han Solo.
Yeah.
And she can't believe her luck that, like, everybody wants this asshole. And she can't get over, like, God, he's such an idiot. Because I keep saying I like, but I'm just kind of building on these themes that we can use.
It's a good choice.
It's a good choice to do because it also fuels... this inner thing of, like, what the hell did I even... Why did I like this guy? Like, what was I even thinking? This guy's an idiot.
Sadly, I'm pretty sure the only reason Vader hires Boba Fett is to get Luke, and Han Solo happens to be on the same ship that Luke is.
Right.
I think that's something that happens.
Oh,
in the movies.
In the movies.
Oh, what about... Because there's this fan theory that I think I've told you about, that Boba Fett killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yes.
I wonder if there's some way we could do that, because that happens... I mean, that happens during A New Hope, but it's like right at the beginning.
Oh, that she's actually the one who kills Uncle Owen and Aunt
Or
Beru.
maybe Boba Fett did right before. Something like that.
Do you think it could be as part of the action sequence during their fight, Boba Fett and her fight, that they are innocent bystanders? Because if you think like Luke's family is kind of separated from the city and everything, you know what I mean?
They're not in the city.
They're not in the city. So if they're making if Boba Fett and our protagonists are making their way to the city.
Here's an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna start tearing up just from thinking of this.
Oh boy.
What if there's a small chase scene?
Yes.
She gets away from Boba Fett.
Yes.
Maybe his gun gets lost in the sand, and he chases after her. And they...
I know where you're going. Keep going.
They give her sanctuary.
Yes.
And he comes in and is like, I know she's here. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he just, like, blasts them to look for her.
Hold on. I'm thinking if I can modify this or if I like it the way it is.
I feel like it can be modified.
No, well, all right, I'll float this out, but I actually think yours is better. But just for the sake of floating it out,
sure.
I'll do that. She runs in, and instead of really just giving her sanctuary, they're just caught up in the situation. Like, all of a sudden, this strange woman walks in.
Yeah.
He goes to blast her. No, hold on. I gotta think about this.
No, I sort of know where you're going. It's just sort of random.
That it's just sort of random.
I like it way better, though. You had said you like mine better. That it's an act of hope and courage.
Yes, there's a moment. Yeah, because,
we will hide you. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. I like that
because it actually enforces Luke's character in a way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And how he was raised.
So yeah, there's kind of a John and Martha Kent aspect to this.
Yeah.
That is appealing to me. So yeah, and you know what? It's not even. There's no explanation. This woman walks in. She's clearly in some sort of distress.
Yeah.
She runs in, doesn't say anything. Before there's time to explain anything, like she runs into that little kitchen thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Before she's time to, they're sitting there having their blue milk or whatever the fuck they have. Before there's time to say anything to these people,
right?
Or these people say anything to her, Boba Fett shows up. In his figure, with the gun and everything, it's clear he's a threat. And Uncle Owen, the girl goes and hides. Uncle Owen and I almost said Aunt Martha, but that's not right.
Aunt May.
Aunt May. That's right, of course. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, Juniper, whatever fuck her name is. They turn and look at Boba Fett. And he just says, "Where is she?" And they say something like,
"Who?" Do
they lie? Do
they
say she's not here? Or do they say we're not giving her up?
No, because then he knows that she's there.
Okay,
they're smarter than that.
Okay,
who?
Fair.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, and then he's like, "No, you know who I'm."
See, I don't even think it goes that far.
You think he just blasts them?
Yeah, I think where is she? Who? Okay, what are you talking about?
No, you're right.
Boom, boom.
Who? What? Yeah, who? What are you talking about? He looks at Owen. He looks at Beru. Blast.
Yeah. That's what I think.
He's like, nope, they're lying.
I really like that idea, and I don't know which one of these I like better, but the original thought I had, it's much more of a Coen Brothers or David Lynch style.
Right.
She runs in, asks for help, and it's sort of shaky cam behind her.
Right.
And they look out and they're like, oh my god, we have a spot, we have a hiding spot right around the corner here, and it follows behind her over the shoulder. They open this maybe a trap door or a fake a false wall or something.
Right.
Hide in here. We'll make sure whoever's coming after you doesn't find you. And she goes in and the camera goes in with her.
Okay.
And we just hear the conversation happening and the two blasts while the camera is on her face. I don't know which one I like better.
50-50 on that.
Yeah, me too.
I think even if we wanted that, I want there to be almost no dialogue during it.
Well, yeah.
It's just all through facial. The whole conversation.
Do you mean her? From her?
From her?
Or in general?
In general.
See, exactly. I was thinking more like...
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. I think it's she runs in, like I said, and it speaks to their character as well. She runs in, they can in an instant see the distress in her.
They look at each other, agree in silence.
Yeah.
And then hide her.
And act. And then she gets hidden. And the only dialogue is, where is she?
Oh, okay, yeah. See, when you said no dialogue, I thought that's the part you meant no dialogue.
No, yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I like that.
It's a lead up before. I don't want there to be explanation of there's a man, he's after me.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's just
they recognize, eye contact. They not only know what is happening, but they realize that time is of the essence.
This is a soul in need. It is urgent.
Yeah.
She must be hidden.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think then is that where she ends up killing him? Does she sort of sneak around and find him? Does he find her?
Yes, I think that whether it's a quick fight or drawn out fight, I think that's where it ends. That's going to be the end of it.
Sure. Because Luke never goes inside. He just sees his aunt and uncle.
And that's where it ends because she can go into town. Ends with the death of Aunt May and Aunt Beru and the whole family. All the aunts, some of the uncles. Fight happens between the two of them. Boba Fett dies. She goes to just go into the town, right? we have the whole thing with she puts on part of the thing, and we get word on Han Solo, and somebody recognizes the symbol. And
what if she puts on the thing because her clothes are torn from the fight?
I like that.
Great.
I like that too. Then she, to get rid of his body, she's the one who lights the whole thing on fire. Remember how Luke goes back?
Oh yeah,
and it's all lit on fire.
Is it? I don't even.
Isn't
remember.
it all burning?
I don't know. We could check. I think
it
they're
is.
on fire.
They're on fire, but I think there's.
We'll have to check. But but I like it. It looks. Yeah, that sounds good.
And because you're
lights
right,
it up.
he never goes in.
Yeah.
Luke never goes in. So really, to get rid of Boba Fett's body,
yeah,
she's the one who lights it up.
Yeah, no, that's good. I really like that.
And then blah 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 goes to the huts, blah 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 blah.
And then that explains as well why Vader says to her in Empire Strikes Back, he stops her and is like, "Listen, no disintegration rays,"
right?
Because he thinks that she did that to Aunt Beru and Uncle
exactly.
Owen.
Yeah.
All right, so this segment is going to end with...
Yeah, let's pause at that.
Well, it ends with her being interviewed by Lord Vader for a potential position, and she finds out that it's to find Han Solo.
Yes.
And she's in Like Flint.
Okay. Awesome.
Great.
To be continued.
So, we're doing something slightly different than we have in the past.
Yes.
We're only doing one reading assignment, and it's something I gave to you. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this is... Give me the name again, because I can't remember.
Red Letter Media's Plinkett review of The Phantom Menace.
Yes. So you sent me Plinkett's review of The Phantom Menace. This is I think it's a 7-part thing. Each video is about 10 minutes long.
It's about 70 minutes total.
So it's about 70 minutes total. Well, this guy goes through... he goes through episode 1. He has one for all of them, I think. But he just goes through episode 1.
The one I gave you was episode 1, yeah.
And he just picks apart why the hell they're so bad. And it's interesting because, one, I think originally you hear this idea and you're like, well, we all know they're bad. Why would you even bother with this?
Right.
But 2, he really, logics out where all the flaws were. And in some ways where it could have gone right.
Yeah. It is the smartest, most succinct review of that movie that I've found.
Which I love, because he just said it's the most succinct at 70 minutes.
It is. Because he really, he will spend,
really
3 words on something.
Yeah, he's really...
the last chapter, the last 10 minutes of it is just this doesn't make any sense, and this doesn't make any sense. Why does this happen? Why does the kid have a child-sized helmet in the cockpit?
Right. Yeah, there's certain things that I'm like, that's hilarious, and it's a really good point. The first 10 minutes, it's actually really brilliant. It was kind of film 101.
Yes.
He lays things out on how a character works and how a protagonist works and how a story structure works.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That, this is the type of character you need for this type of story, and this is what happens to them, and this is, if you look at all these other examples, this is how it works.
And he refers to them as a protagonist.
Yeah.
Protagonist.
But he has really great examples. Yeah. Back to the Future is one,
smart.
Which, by the way, is interesting because I also just watched a Back to the Future documentary that's really good.
He talks about Tremors. He talks about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Terminator, Gremlins.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed too, but there's a part where he says, if our hero wins, sometimes maybe he'll also get the girl in the end.
And it's Charlie and Willy Wonka. Yeah, I saw that one.
I love that.
So the first, I almost said the first episide, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. The first
10 minutes.
10 minutes of it. That was fascinating. I was watching how the fuck did I never put this together?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, no, I knew that, but it's put in a way that crystallizes it.
Well, I think the first section as well is one where he asks people to describe Star Wars characters.
I think it's the second, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. But that's the other thing is then he gets into the characters.
Yeah.
Whenever he does the story and then the characters and da-da-da, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I really like all of it. There are certain times when I'm like, and I get he's doing this for a certain reason.
The character?
No, the plot points. There are some parts where I'm like, movies, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Like, why did they go into the vent? I'm like, because it's a movie.
Well, no, it's how did he know?
Oh, how did he know?
He's like, they've gone into the ventilation shaft, sir.
Yeah,
how do you know that? I said, how do you know that?
Yeah, how do you know that? I'm like, because it's a fucking movie. That's how, movie.
But there is some stuff like
no,
but I was gonna say like the protocol droid knowing that they're Jedi Knights makes no sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's not even knowing that they're Jedi Knights doesn't make any sense. But he was right. Like that whole sequence of like, she just goes and tells them. Like they don't even try to disguise it. That she just goes
they don't even ask first.
They don't
to
ask
make sure.
First.
They're just taking the word of a droid.
Right.
My favorite part of that whole review is him referring to one of the lines as the dumbest line in the movie.
Oh, they must be dead by now.
Destroy what's left of them.
Yeah, I did like
the dumbest thing.
Yeah, and that line never really
never occurred to me.
It never occurred to me, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, because then he's like, why not just leave them in there for 6 hours? Who cares?
Yeah,
and I was like, no, that's true. If they're dead, just leave them in there for 6 hours. Just make sure. Dead. And then 6 hours later, let's crack this open. They're definitely dead now. Yeah. But yeah, overall, he's very smart. I can't fault anything he said.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of the time I was like, because it's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's what I think is that this is a review that takes literally every problem.
Yeah.
Even if it's a small one that shouldn't. If it was the only problem, you'd be like, it's fine.
Whatever.
But,
movie logic. Yeah.
But when it's one in a sea of thousands.
Thousands. Yeah. But yeah, it is really fascinating. I will say, like you had said, how much you love it, and
it's so funny.
It is really funny. Where he's talking about the toys, and he goes down in the basement, like the skeleton is there, and then like the hooker is there. It's crazy. It's really funny.
And pizza rolls.
Oh, he's gonna mail pizza rolls to people. Yeah, it's
every now and then my girlfriend and I will say to each other, "Email me if you want a pizza roll."
I just like the one where he was like, Why use this gas? Why not carbon monoxide?
Yeah.
It's odorless and it's odorless and colorless, and it works perfectly on your ex-wife.
I mean Jedi.
I
really like when he's like he says something about the raid when he's describing the best kind of raid to use to kill a person.
To kill a hooker who's trying to crawl out of your crawl space.
He's like, you want to use the fast kill low irritant? It comes in the blue bottle. You're gonna need about 6 chapter 4.
Yeah, its cuts are great too.
Yeah, they're so funny. They're so abrupt.
Yeah, I mean it's really funny. It definitely is one of those things like, if you got to spare 70 minutes, and who doesn't?
I mean, it's worth it.
It is.
It's worth canceling whatever you have on your schedule to see.
It's also nice because it's one of those videos like you can put it on. You can put it on work. You don't have to watch it. You can just listen.
You can just listen to it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you disagree with? Specifically on like a major level other than
no, there was nothing, and that's the other thing. It's like he is right on everything. One, because it's the Phantom Menace and it sucks.
It's
but
really
two,
bad.
because he's very smart about this stuff. He is. There's nothing that I was like, oh no, he's totally off on that. Like I said, the worst it ever got was somewhere around like the 3rd or 4th episode.
Yeah.
When he's picking apart the plot, and sometimes he's like, why would you do this? And I'm like, because it's the movies, and you just go with it. And it's a Star Wars movie, and you just don't think about it.
Is there anything you think
But that's
he's missed?
the worst it got. No.
Yeah.
That's
everything bad about it.
At 70 minutes, there's no way he missed something. There's no way he missed something.
The movie's like 30 minutes longer than that, so there's probably 30 minutes he missed worth of garbage.
Sure.
All right, then let me ask you, what do you think is is there something that is the best part of the Phantom Menace?
The end credits. That's the obvious joke. Is there say the question again?
What is the best part of the Phantom Menace? Like the best scene, the best character, whatever is the most enjoyable part.
I think if they had even trying to say it, I have to like justify it with some sort of thing that's not actually in the movie. I like Darth Maul a lot. I think they established a really good not villain, but like henchman in it.
Yeah. Henchman's a good word.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that's the obvious choice for me too, and the more I think about it though, the more I'm like, well, He's a great shell of a character.
Right, but that's what I mean. But
Yeah.
I like that. And people are like, well, he's a shell because he doesn't talk. But I actually like that. I
Not
like
because of that, but because we don't really know his motivations.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But
They do expand on that, I think, in Rebels, the TV show.
do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he comes back, and there have been a couple. I know there's a new Darth Maul prequel comic.
Oh, nice.
I read the first issue of another Darth Maul comic from a couple of years ago. That's pretty good. But that's what I mean. I think they at least establish a character that it's worth exploring, that fans want to explore.
Definitely.
I actually like it. I like that he doesn't talk. You're right, you don't know his motivations. In some ways, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Boba Fett was the same way.
Yeah, and the less you say, the more I
He
can
probably had about
play
the same
that.
number of lines as Darth Maul, too.
From...
It's like 3 or 4.
Who?
Both of them.
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
I think Boba Fett has more.
Maybe.
I think Darth Maul has one, does he?
No, because he says... I don't think so, because Peter Serafinowicz plays his voice. Because he says... I don't know, I'll look him up.
But I like that. I did like... I think they underutilized this. I like the relationship of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I like those two together. And I like the potential that they had. I think it was completely squandered.
Darth Maul has 2 lines.
Okay. But I think it's completely squandered. But
Yeah,
I did like that.
Well, it's
together.
funny, too, because, the Red Letter Media makes a great point when they say Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn should have been combined to form one new character called Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right. That's the thing is, whenever I watch Phantom Menace, of all of the crap, the one thing that I am sad about is like... Because there's always a moment where I'm like, oh, that's right, Qui-Gon Jinn dies in this. It's the only movie he's in. And part of me is sad about that. I'm like, I like him.
Yeah.
And I like watching Obi-Wan be the student and learning from someone else. And I like the idea of, like, there could be someone wiser than Obi-Wan. So I want to know what that's all about.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the review, too. He says, if Qui-Gon Jinn had to be a character, he should have just sat on the ship and been wise. You know, been sort of like a wise old man.
Yeah. So there are certain... I think the real tragedy of the Phantom Menace isn't so much that it was just a bad movie. It's that all of these seeds were planted that could have grown into something very fruitful.
Yeah.
But then was just spoiled.
Well, there's a great article about the trilogy.
Right.
It argues, it's a very long article, but it's worth the read. I don't remember who wrote it or what the name of it is, but it argues that the trilogy is like 1 or 2 plot choices away from being a good trilogy.
Yes.
And it mostly dives into the fact that, like, if the Jedi were wrong, if we got more of an impression that the Jedi are like, no, we want to bring balance to the Force, that means only Jedi.
Right.
And let's call him Hayden Christensen, Anakin.
Right.
It's like, well, that doesn't sound like balance to me, you know?
Yeah.
Instead, we are told, well, I'm angsty, so I'm going to go be with these guys.
Right.
They can save my woman, I guess.
Right.
You know, and it doesn't
Yeah,
really
there's a
work.
lot of... it's not equal in its telling. A really good storytelling. You're either your characters, like in the original trilogy, where it's your protagonists are so far on the light side, not the light side, the good side, you know, fighting for the forces of good.
I mean, I don't know that they are, but...
Well, hear me out in
Yeah.
a second. But you can either have, like, a really fun, adventurous thing where it's like...
There's
the
a very
Cowboys
clear
wear the
good
white
guy
hats
and-
and
yeah,
the black guy... And
Right.
Shit. Son of a bitch.
Mel Gibson, I have told you to get out of here.
And the bad guys wear the black hats. Like,
Yeah.
there's just no
Yeah,
question.
and you can see it in the lasers
can
they
see-
shoot. There's
yeah.
like red and blue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's no question. These guys
The lightsabers.
fight all for good, and these
Sure,
guys fight
they're very
all
clear
for
good
evil.
guys and very clear bad guys.
Or, if you go the opposite way, then everybody has a good argument. Whether it's a bad guy or a good guy, and his motivation, while seeming evil, is from his perspective, and you can justify why he would feel that way.
Yeah.
He thinks he's doing good, or she. thinks they're doing good, and the good guys see it the opposite.
Yeah,
You
and
know
I
what
would
I mean?
I would always prefer that. I think every now and then you get
Yeah.
lucky, like with something like Star Wars. Even though
Right.
I would argue that there are times where Luke looks like maybe he's going a little bit closer to the dark side. Maybe
Right.
he's not sure what's
But
going on.
that's part of the storytelling is
that's the
that
struggle.
your white hats
Yeah.
at some point come closer to that line, and
Right.
that's the conflict. But either, like I said, you can go one end where everybody goes to their separate corners and they fight, or everybody comes right to the middle.
Yeah.
And they kind of discuss it out, or they duke it out. The original trilogy I think goes the first way. Everybody goes to their separate corners. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. Nobody really kind of makes any bones about it going, no, we're misunderstood. They're just like, no, we're the Empire. We want to take over everything. No, you can't take over everything.
Yeah, sure.
The prequel trilogy could have gone the opposite way.
Yeah.
And said, like you said, where the Jedis go, no, we need to bring balance. And so we need to step up and be in control of everything.
Yeah.
And Anakin's going, no, I don't think that's right.
That's
and the
not
bad
balance.
guys are, and
Yeah.
and the dark side is going, they're kind of like the dark side.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the light.
Yeah,
everybody's making an equal argument.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that.
Yeah, correct. I think,
yeah.
there's something that could have been done there, but...
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of stuff that could have been great in there.
Do you see now why, as well,
also cut the budget just in half.
Yeah, and
make
maybe
him-
less CGI.
But that's what I'm saying. Cut the budget in half and make
Yeah.
him try and figure something out.
Right.
Instead of giving him infinite amount
Yeah.
of dollars and just going, oh, we can do whatever we want. Let's just do whatever we want.
So now it sounds like that just answered my question, but do you see now why I just ridicule George Lucas?
Yeah, I do get it. Oh, believe me, I get it. Part of, and I will be one of those guys who will always say, as much as I also hate the prequels, it's his thing, and he can do with it whatever he wants.
Not anymore, he can't.
Well, not anymore. Yeah. It's, we have to take, I've always been of the camp that with George Lucas, you have to take all of your complaints about the prequels or whatever you don't like what he did with a
And
grain
you
of
mail them to Lucas Ranch.
Yes.
The address is...
and you slip in the dead rat with the package, but you pay the postage for it.
George Lucas is like, Jared Leto again?
But you have to take all of your arguments or your feelings against him or whatever he did with a grain of salt, because like I said, it's his thing. And he's able to do with it as he wished. And while we don't like what he did, I think it's 3/4 his fault, and it's 1/4 us for being upset that he didn't make the movie that was in our heads. Like, I'm not saying it's half and half. I think it's mostly him.
Even that, I would say it's half him, and then the other half is like divvied up. Is divvied up amongst like 20 other things. Like the Plinkett reviews surmise that a big portion of the problem comes from everyone else in the making of the movie who didn't stand up to him.
Yeah, but again, I would say that's. But again, I say that is under the idea of like, this is George Lucas. He's the creator of Star Wars. It's
Right.
his thing.
Yeah, sure. But he's also he's under a production company.
Yeah.
know?
But also, to be fair to them at that time, like, we're in hindsight 2020 vision right now. At that time, they're probably under the same impression that we were under that time, where we're like, George Lucas is making a new Star Wars movie.
Probably not, because we were 12.
No, but what I'm saying is like...
no, I get what you're saying,
I mean?
but like
George
even
Lucas
when
is making a new Star Wars movie.
But even when
this
he
is
made
guy that can
the
crack.
original trilogy, Fox was up his ass changing shit.
Right. But when he was making the original trilogy, then and Fox was up his ass, he can then turn around and say, well, look what happened when I made the original trilogy. Don't go up my ass. And everyone's going to go, yeah, okay, I see it.
I guess, except that wasn't it still Fox? Like, Fox could say, yeah, but look what we did with your original trilogy.
Yeah, but
That's
those
the
people
thing.
weren't around anymore.
I guess, yeah, maybe not.
You know what I mean? I don't think it was the same people who were in charge of Fox then that were in charge of Fox in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, well, and the other thing I was going to say, too, is when you say part of the fault, or a large part of the fault, it rests in our minds.
Well, it's not a large part.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a third. A third is a large part.
No, fourth. I'll give it a fourth.
Whatever, that's a large part to me. Listen, I'll take whatever I can get if you know what I'm saying.
Math is... Oh!
So, look, if to say that that's the case, I would argue that most of us didn't have a movie in mind, and that in order to establish that it is acceptable and possible to give critique to art, you have to accept that there is a way to make good art.
Yeah.
And I don't think he did.
No, I'm not... But me making this argument of he didn't make the movie that was in our minds, I'm not saying that we're totally wrong and that he made good art and we're just not seeing it.
I think it's much
They're
smaller
crap,
than you're saying.
believe
That's
me.
what I mean, is I don't know that we were hoping that it would be a movie that we had already determined in our heads. I think we just wanted it to be very good.
I think there were some things that we wanted that we didn't get, and so that tainted our view of it.
Nah, I think it was mostly good stuff. We wanted good stuff.
No, we did, but I think...
Because we got a lot of stuff. Like, the third... Episode 3 is not very good, even though we get to see Darth Vader, become Darth Vader. It's...
Yeah, but by then, we're already fucked, let's be honest.
But that movie features, like, a 45-minute Cirque du Soleil sword fight. Like, it's...
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So
but
bad.
We were already... Yeah. I just... Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you on any of the faults of the trilogy. I'm just saying, like I said, everyone wants to be like, fuck Lucas and he's terrible and I'm like, guys, yeah, he made 3 bad movies. I get it. But you know what? They're his movies to make. He can make whatever he wants.
It's true.
Not anymore.
No.
But he can make whatever
he can finally make his Luke Starkiller movie.
Yeah, go nuts. Go crazy. And I'll tell you what, if he did, I kind of want to see it.
I'd probably see it.
Yeah.
Back to the Plinkett reviews.
Okay.
It's interesting how sad and hopeful they get. Like, there's a part where he is comparing actual shots from the original trilogy to the new one.
Right.
And it's really interesting to see, like, the calm, serene moments of, like, Yoda saying, feel, don't think, use your... that sort of... actually, I think that's Qui-Gon Jinn who says that. I have to put that on the record. But it's Yoda saying, like, feel the Force around you. It binds us.
Do
or do not. Yeah. I don't know that that's the clip he shows, but there are clips, or the clip of Obi-Wan accepting his fate against Darth Vader.
Right.
And then it cuts to, like, Grievous just spinning 4 lightsabers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That's the thing. That's the thing with these movies. It's just
they're
like
so bad.
They're just so, and that's what I mean by cut the budget in half.
Yeah.
Like, just don't give him free rein.
Or just give it to actors. Just give more money to actors.
Well,
get better actors. Not better, but like get more good actors.
Yeah, instead of
if you're gonna spend
CGI
$3 billion, yeah, instead of just like putting it into the landscape and making a blue screen and a green screen, let's get Gary Oldman to be in this.
But that's what I mean. Is that you can, and you could get a good actor for cheaper than probably what you made for that CGI.
Well, and also you can probably get them cheaper than what they would charge for another movie.
Right. Well,
to be in a Star Wars movie.
The reason I say cut the budget in half is that there's a lesson. It's in a book called...
It's the novelization of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yes. No, it's called A Director Prepares.
Sure. And
I want to say it's by Anne Bogart, but I could be wrong.
By Andrew Dunn.
Yes. But someone's going to be like, it's not by Anne Bogart, you fucking
It's not by Ann Coulter. What is the point you're making?
The point I'm making is there's a lesson in there, and it's one that I've used a lot, is that conflict spurns creativity.
Sure.
So if you're making a creative project and something comes up that throws a wrench in your plans, oftentimes you will have to develop something to get around it or to get over it or to get through it. And by doing so, you will actually come up with a better idea than if you were going straight through on that
like
path.
Julie Taymor, right?
Yeah.
Did she do Lion King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did Lion
King. So, she does Lion King and she's given nothing. And she makes an entire set and costumes out of toilet paper rolls.
Exactly.
And then she does Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yes.
And she's given like $800 million.
Yes.
And makes the biggest turd.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you were
Julie
Fox
Taymor theory.
and you gone to George Lucas and he wanted to make a prequel thing, and he's like, I want $300 million, and you go, okay, no, you can have $150 million.
Yeah.
And that's gonna definitely be enough for you.
Tell you what, you put the Ewoks in this one, we'll give you $160 million.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you cut out that fucking Jar Jar Binks, I'll give you an extra $10 million just for that.
You know that part was originally supposed to go to Michael Jackson?
I have heard that too. You know that part is secretly a Sith Lord?
I've heard that.
I love that fan theory. It's one of my favorites.
Do you think Jar Jar's going to be Snoke?
No. Oh, I want that to be true just to see every nerd in America's head explode simultaneously. Just like, no! And not in a good way. It's not a no like, oh my god, that's amazing.
I can't believe I didn't see it.
No,
yeah, you're
like, how could they?
It's no like you stand up in the middle of the movie theater, put your seat up, take your coat, and just leave and fall off a cliff somewhere.
Yeah, it's just the word. But yeah, like that's what I mean. Just cut it in half. Yeah. Whatever he asked for, cut it in half. And then when he's like, but I need
one sandwich.
But I need it for cut this, and it's like, no, figure it out.
Yeah, some
other way. Don't make a giant.
Sounds like you got to go to the bank and get a loan.
Yeah, and he's like, fine, I will. And they're like, oh damn it, we forgot he's George Lucas. He can cut whatever he wants. Shit! Everybody call the banks before he gets there. I think there's traffic on La Brea. We got like half an hour. It's fine.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say regarding this?
Not at all.
Do you have anything to assign to me?
Yes, I do. I did not bring it with me.
So that's a no.
But I do have something to assign to you.
Great.
I'm giving you... So you have read Flash Rebirth, which, as I recall, you did enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
No, I hated it.
Okay.
It was the worst.
Well,
it was the worst thing I've ever read.
Great. Then you're getting something that's similar to it that I think is better.
Okay.
Either way, you're not getting out of this. That's why we call it an assignment.
Oh, no.
I'm giving you Green Lantern Rebirth.
Sounds good.
Green Lantern Rebirth is also by Jeff Johns. And, of course, Jeff Johns is someone who's very high up in the DCEU right now.
Yep.
So I think it's good to...
And he's great.
And he's fantastic. This is one of, I think, his best stories he's ever written.
Nice.
Hal Jordan, to give you a little backstory, Hal Jordan, the Silver Age and Modern Age and most widely known Green Lantern, famously went crazy after the death of Superman, became a villain, and was called Parallax for many, many years.
Yeah, right? I knew that.
He then, at some point, this is all backstory just so you know where it's starting from. He then, at some point, as Parallax, at one point, something ate the sun during this thing called Final Night, and so there was no sun. And in a final act of heroism, he sacrificed his life and reignited the sun.
Nice.
And then the soul of Hal Jordan became the Spectre. Do you know who the Spectre is? Okay. So for a while, the Spectre was Jim Corrigan, and then Jim Corrigan was given Grant into heaven, so the spirit no longer had a human side to him.
Sure.
And he needs a human side. And so Hal Jordan became the Spectre for a long time. But everyone was waiting for the day, since Hal Jordan is still kind of in this universe. When is Hal Jordan coming back? This is the story of Hal Jordan becoming Green Lantern again.
Nice.
And becoming human all over again.
The Spectre was in Kingdom Come, I believe.
The Spectre is in Kingdom Come. Yes. So Hal Jordan becomes that character.
Nice.
Becomes the Spectre for a little while. And that's where we start, is that Hal Jordan is the Spectre.
Yeah.
And you're waiting to see, and everyone's always asked, when is Hal Jordan coming back? This is the story of how he comes back.
Now we know.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, I think so, and I will get it to you, but it's a 6-issue miniseries.
Nice.
That you'll like.
I could do that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what you got. That's it.
All right.
That's the show.
That's the show. We did another one.
Come back next week. We'll probably pick up from where we left off, or somewhere around where we left off with the Boba
Unless
Fett
something
thing.
crazy happens.
Unless something crazy happens, or we just get bored with it, and then whatever. Who knows? Listen, we make the rules.
That's true.
That's true. God, this making up a story thing is really hard.
I don't think so. I think it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, but I don't know how Eric Scarlatti does it, like, in an episode.
I don't know how they make them funny.
Yeah,
like theirs are funny.
Theirs
like I feel
really
like I
good.
can make a good drama out of things that already exist with characters I've grown up with.
Right, right. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
they on not movies. They like just in 30 minutes make
Yeah.
up something that's like hilarious.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the?
Yeah, they're just like, oh, it'll be John Candy.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what the hell's going on
Yeah.
over there. All right.
he's going to be in the remake of The Last Action Hero.
Yeah. Oh, all right. That's it. One podcast challenge to another. Eric Scarlatti and everybody at the Not Movies podcast. Last Action Hero. You have to incorporate John Candy somehow. Go. I'm going to get a text about this. I know it. I fucking know it. I can't wait.
The Last Action Hero is actually a sandwich. It's a hero. That's a bonus. You can use that
Yeah, you
one.
can use that. You don't have to, but if you do,
You can
extra
use it
points.
pro boner.
Oh, nice. All right, that's going to be it for us. Hey, Andrew.
What?
Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
Do you want me to do it this time?
I would love for you to do it this time.
Too bad I'm not doing it. Where can they find us?
You can find us on twitter.com, where our handle is @MediaLunchBreak. You can also find us on soundcloud.com/TheMediaLunchBreak. You can subscribe to us there, or on iTunes, or on Google Play Music. You can also find us and subscribe to us on YouTube by searching there. We've also got a Patreon. That's patreon.com/TheMediaLunchBreak. You can find us on Facebook, The Media Lunch Break on there. You can send us an email at themedialunchbreak.com. Nope, at themedialunchbreak@gmail.com.
Yes, okay.
Or you can visit our website, which is themedialunchbreak.com. It's worldwideweb.themedialunchbreak.computer.
That's not what .com stands for.
What does it stand for?
It stands for commercial.
Nope.
No, it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
How could that be true?
Because this is why you have .com. We're not going to get into this on the podcast. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Jeez. If you don't know where .com comes from...
Google it.
All right, so you want to know where .com comes from?
Yeah.
It comes from